Hello, fellas and ladies. We're about to do BAFTAs. BAFTA nominations coming in, I think by the time it's released tomorrow. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of things have been delayed due to the fires. If you're in that area, God beg that you're safe. I have a link down below full of some things you can donate to if you can, of course. Links to food shelters, links to like things how we can protect some animals, links to donation drives. It's a whole thing. But without further ado, let's get right into the BAFTA predictions. I'm going from sound up based on the long lists. For best sound, I'm pretty set with this one in a way. I think Dune and Emilia Paris and Wicked are pretty set. I think Complete Unknown. I mean, that movie's riding a wave right now. Complete Unknown's gonna get sound. That's pretty set in stone. And then I'm like I don't think they're gonna do the Brutalist or Conclave. They could do the Substance if they want to be cool. I think Gladiator obviously has a shot. But I'm flipping a coin between the war movies. I feel like Civil War is a little bit more well liked than Blitz, which is odd. Except for the fact that Blitz is terrible. Maybe I'm just going with Civil War because of my ego. Blitz is the one that made the Oscar shortlist, but I don't think they care about that. So I'm gonna go with Civil War. It could be Blitz. If it seemed like it's quick, it's because I have a lot of these like pretty set in my head already. They could go with Gladiator. I don't expect Gladiator to have like the best day in the world. This Substance, I really want to see get in. I do think Substance might have a really good day, but that might not have to include sound. Visual effects is a little stickier because I think a lot of these can happen. Dune, King of Planet of the Apes are guaranteed. I think Better Man is a very, very likely thing to happen here. That movie's just, like Robbie Williams is a lot more UK oriented, so I don't think that, not knowing what the fuck he is not going to be as big a problem this time around. And obviously that movie's just VFX galore. I don't think Wicked's going to get in here. I don't know why. I feel like, it crossed my mind that it could miss the Oscar for VFX, but it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm not going to predict it. I'm just going to let it happen if it happens. That said, here, I don't know. I feel like it's not going to get in here, whereas I think Alien Romulus and Gladiator will pose better shots. I think this will be the sign that Gladiator's in trouble. I think, obviously, Denzel Washington missing SAG was a pretty good indicator that, there's trouble in paradise. But, I don't know, maybe VFX can happen here still. I feel like Gladiator's more likely to get in here than Wicked, weirdly enough. I don't think Wicked's gonna have a great day. Civil War, they could do. Furiosa, it's on the long list, so I have to consider it. I do think it's possible. Deadpool and Wolverine, I do not think that BAFTA's gonna go with that one. The Oscars are a different animal, but here I feel a sense of security that they're not gonna do Deadpool and Wolverine. Production design, I think I'm really set in stone with the top four. Wicked's gonna win, I think. Maybe they could, throw a curveball and go with the Brutalist. That could be something BAFTA does. But I think it's pretty set that Wicked and Dune are gonna get nominated, as is the Brutalist. And, Gladiator, again, they built a Coliseum and shit. That's very, that's very production design nomination stuff going there. So Gladiator probably happen. After that, I think any of these could get in, except for probably a Complete Unknown. I know Complete Unknown is running in wave, but I think there are limits, and I think this is one of those limits. I don't really think production design has to happen. Put it like this, it missing production design would not be a show of weakness. I think Blitz, even though as bad as that movie is, I do think production design is one of its stronger elements, and I do think it is very possible. They do like war movies here. Nosferatu is another movie riding a wave right now. That could happen. Conclave I have at the Oscar, and then Beetlejuice is like, fucking massive. These wacky sets. Everything here makes sense for that fifth slot. But I'm going with the Substance. I do think the production design is like something I'm really looking at for the Oscar nomination. And I think that the Substance, again, is going to have a really good day at BAFTA. So I do think that this could be one of those things. Because the production design is very iconic in that movie. So I am saying that the Substance is going to get in here. I wouldn't be surprised if it was one of the other ones. If it was Complete Unknown, I'd be major shocked. I'd be like, whoa, this movie's strong. Score. Brutalist, Emilia Paris, Conclave. Definitely happening. I think the Wild Robot's pretty set. If it misses here, then it's fucked for the Oscar, I think. But, like, here, yeah. And then that fifth slot's like, I don't know. Probably Nosferatu, right? Someone here that, like, makes... okay, Blitz actually does also make sense. Blitz has, like, the Hans Zimmer I don't think the score is very good, but it does track for the BAFTA to get in. Maybe even over Nosferatu, or even over, like, weirdly enough, Wild Robot. I don't know, I'm probably gonna be Nosferatu. It makes the most sense to me, although I'm keeping a very clean eye on Blitz. Substance could, like, weirdly happen. Like, if they really want to go for the substance, that's a possibility. Beetlejuice is Danny Elfman. I don't know, maybe they want to have some fun. Gladiator, probably not. Outrun, no. Makeup and hair, the substance, gonna win. Beetlejuice is gonna happen, Dune's gonna happen, Nosferatu is gonna happen. And here begins the Emilia Paris fuckfest. This movie is going to have an unbelievable day. I feel like if people are still questioning Emilia Paris, you're gonna have a rough day on Wednesday. You know, they have like the thing they do to Carla Sofia Gascon when she's the cartel leader. And that's really it, but like that could be enough in this case. And I think, you know, the other really competitive one is The Apprentice. And, you know, transforming Sebastian Stan into Donald Trump. You know, doing that stuff that they did to Jeremy Strong. I feel like if Emilia Perez missed this, I wouldn't be like, oh, bad day for Emilia Perez. I wouldn't think that now. But, you know, I feel like Emilia Perez makes just a tatty, you know, at the Oscars, I think Apprentice is going to trump, ironically enough, Emilia Perez. But here, I think Emilia Perez. Wicked, I still don't really think that's a makeup and hair nomination. Like, they turn her green, like, big whoop. And I will say The Apprentice, you know, did well here, so maybe. And I don't think Wick is going to have the best day in the world. The other three don't really make sense. Blitz, I don't really know why that's here. Complete Unknown really doesn't have anything besides, you know, Ed Norton's receding hairline. No. And then Joker's Joker. Editing, the substance. I'm sticking to my theory that the substance will be our editing winner at the Oscars. I think that that's gonna be a huge thing because the substance is a lot of editing. If it's gonna be a major player, why wouldn't it win editing? It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I'm saying it's gonna get in here, and I think it's gonna win here. Aside from that, I think Emilia Perez is definitely getting in. Dune's definitely getting in. Conclave's getting in. I think people are starting to sour on Dune a little bit, trying to be like, whoa, is Dune really that strong? And I say it's definitely weaker than the first one in terms of awards. But I don't really see much reason to believe like things like this are going to start falling off. I still think this will happen. Maybe the Oscar can be a bitch and snub Dune, but I feel like they're going to go with Dune. Then I have challenges in that last slot. You know, there is definitely a case for Honora, but I've heard like that's kind of like the criticism for Honora, that people don't really love the editing. Those people are stupid, but like, it exists. Complete Unknown could happen. Kneecap could really happen. That's a lot of editing. And like, there's like a slight chance of Civil War if they really want to go for that one. But Challengers is a lot. Challengers is still one of the most like buzzed about, most appreciated, most loved movie of the year. So I'm going to say that, you know, maybe Challengers can make a case of the editing nomination at the Oscars even. So I'm going with Challengers. Gladiator 2's not going to get in. And Honora, man, you better hope he gets in here. Costume design. Wicked's probably going to win this one. Like, if they really want to be weird about Wicked, they can go with something else, but what else? After that, I think Dune is obvious. Nosferatu, take the genre away. There's nothing weird about this nomination. It's like absolutely what they go for. Complete Unknown. I think that was part of the wave. I think the costume work is very good in that movie, and I think that could be an Oscar nomination. And it has to start somewhere. I don't think Costume Guild is enough because of the way they split. I think it'll happen here. That's probably gonna get in, I would say. And then Gladiator probably is gonna happen. Maybe I'm completely off base about Complete Unknown and costumes, and it's actually one of these big ones like a Beetlejuice and Furiosa. Furiosa was longlisted. It could happen. It should happen. Honestly, it should win. Beetlejuice makes sense. Conclave never really made sense as a costume nomination to me, but like I guess this could be a test of that. Emilia Perez, again, I know I said they're gonna throw a Emilia Perez fuckfest, but like I don't think that requires costumes. I don't think missing costume would be a sign of weakness. Blitz could happen. I see it. I see it. It's not bad work. I don't like the movie, but it's not bad work. Cinematography. The Brutalist, definitely. Dune Part 2, definitely. Conclave, I think here, absolutely. I'm like, you know, I see a lot of doubt going towards Conclave cinematography. I'm not really totally sure why. I don't think it's a lock or anything like that, but I don't know. I feel like that's definitely something they would go for. The guy who just won? Yeah, come on. Nosferatu has been picking up the cinematography nominations left and fucking right. Like, again, Nosferatu's running a wave right now, similar to A Complete Unknown. I think that, you know, that's gotta happen, I feel like. Nosferatu? That's looking really set, like, secure for Nosferatu to get a cinematography nomination at the Oscars even. I don't have much reason to doubt it. And then I think that we're underestimating the hell out of The Substance. I think that could get the Oscar nomination too. And I think Substance is going to have a really good day. Maybe it doesn't get Best Film, but I think it's going to have a great day and get a lot of text. So I'm going with The Substance. Emilia Perez and Complete Unknown are like outside shots. I think Complete Unknown and Emilia Perez could really make a case for ASC, but like then not the Oscar nomination. Civil War could also happen here. Honora and Gladiator aren't going to happen. Casting, I hate this category. This is the one category that's still purely jury. I've noticed a pattern thanks to my good friend, the Oscar expert. They've seen the pattern. Only one nomination, like for SAG, gets in here, while the rest are just not. And all five of the short list of the SAG nominees are here. Emilia Paris, A Complete Unknown, Anora, Conclave, and Wicked. I found out that Sing Sing wasn't eligible here, so that's not nice. So I'm gonna follow suit. And I'm going to say that Emilia Paris is going to be the one, because I think that's going to have this best day of the SAG nominees. I do think The Brutalist could happen with this fictitious rule. Kneecap and Apprentice both made Best Film long list. Maybe they get in, turning into Donald Trump, Kneecap playing the Kneecap real-life people. And then Back to Black, which is an awful, awful movie. You got Marissa Bella playing Amy Winehouse in there. Maybe they'll throw a bone to that. And then the other four, I don't know. I honestly, there's a non-0% chance I get 0 out of 5 in this category. This category is so fucked. I never really get it. It never makes sense to me. We'll see what happens. I think if I were to, just pick names out of a hat, I think I'd have a better shot than, trying to go at this logically. All right, now we're going to acting. Remember, no more jury. So if this looks normal, that's good. Kieran Culkin, clearly going to sweep. I think SAG kind of confirmed that. Man, I do not like this lighting at all. That's not good. Guy Pearce, weird SAG miss. There's an off chance that he misses this as well in a I don't know, Mark Ruffalo kind of way. But I think he'll just happily get in here. Yura Borisov's on track. There's nothing gonna stop him. Ed Norton's looking also on track. There's a shot he misses here, but I have no reason to predict it right now. Apprentice did great. I think Jeremy Strong is pretty secure, I would say. Okay, maybe not secure, but I think he'll happen. If you haven't had SAG, he can happen here. Without Sebastian. Although Sebastian will get in here. We'll get to actor. And then for the last lot, I'm saying Clarence Macklin. I don't care. They are required to watch the movie, so we know they're gonna watch Sing Sing. We know we're set in that regard. Some people are going to go Stanley Tucci. Although some people may be going, why not Denzel Washington? I think some of you know that Denzel Washington has never received a BAFTA nomination. So I don't see why this is the first one. Although, there's a small inkling in the back of my head going, oh, maybe that's the headline. Denzel's first BAFTA nomination. But I'm not predicting that until it happens. A lot of people are going to go, Stanley Tucci? But again, this is no longer a jury. This is now the full thing. This is now, the entire BAFTA voting. And I don't really see why Tucci would get more votes, except for the fact maybe they like Conclave a little more. I think Clarence Macklin is just a little more compelling than Stanley Tucci is. I'm giving a slim possibility for Mike Auerstein. Denzel and Harris Dickinson are probably not going to happen, and I'm sticking with Clarence Macklin. Supporting actress, this one's a little obvious to me what's going to happen. I think Zoe Saldana and Ariana Grande are absolutely happening. I think Felicity Jones is going to get this. God fucking forbid she misses again. That'd be insane. I think Margaret Qualley and Selena Gomez are looking really solid. Again, I think, Emilia Perez is going to have a huge party thrown for it, and I really don't really see why one would think Gomez would be the one that misses. People who don't like her are going to insist, oh, maybe Adriana Paz is the one. And I'm like, they're going to throw a party for Emilia Perez. And part of that is going with the 3 actresses that Netflix has been parading around. And one of those actresses is Selena Gomez. One of them is not Adriana Paz. I think Adriana Paz and Emily Watson are the ones that are just absolutely not happening. Isabella Rossellini, if she misses this, I'm not predicting her for the Oscar. She will be absolutely fake news if she misses this. They did go with Margot Robbie for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. They're not opposed to these kind of capsule performances that people are buzzing about. Isabella Rossellini's been out there. She's been doing a lot, and I think that that could be enough. And this could just be easy. I think this is the top 6 at the Oscars. This might be what we're dealing with. Maybe someone like Michelle Austin can come in and shake things up a little bit. My guess is she's definitely the most likely after that. I think Jamie Lee Curtis definitely stands a chance, but I don't know. Somebody's telling me, can I realistically put her above any of these people? I don't know. Especially Michelle Austin. Michelle Austin I'd love to see, but my guess is she'll fall between the cracks. Hartruth didn't do that well. Lead actor, Adrian Brody's going to get in. And he's going to win, too. Timothée Chalamet is going to happen. Ray Fiennes is absolutely going to happen. Some people are going to, insist that, he's going to win this one, and I'm just going to shut that down right now. Absolutely not. I feel like we have this conversation, every single year, where we just assume, not even a British person, just any person who's not American for any kind of prestige movie, we just kind of go, oh my god, they're gonna win BAFTA, and then the Oscars are gonna be shaked up. When in reality, the BAFTA typically, like 9 times out of 10, just follows suit. Colin Farrell didn't even win this. I know we tried last year with Sandra Hüller, and then Emma Stone just, like, obviously won. Last year it was, like, a no-brainer to me, and this year it's a no-brainer that Agent Brody. Like, Agent Brody follows that path of, like, the kind of BAFTA performance. He's just not British. I know things like Anthony Hopkins happened, but, like, Anthony Hopkins won during, like, a peak. Like, The Father was really peaking at the time when he won. That it wasn't just because this guy has a British accent. Kerry Condon and Barry Keoghan are, like, when all is said and done, weird anomalies. Because then Kate Blanchett and Austin Butler won. Like, those, yeah, okay, Kate Blanchett's kind of, but not Austin. Honestly, I think Chalamet has a better shot at winning BAFTA than Ralph Fiennes. I do not think Ralph Fiennes is winning this award. But he'll get out of it. There's like a dark nightmare scenario where Coleman Domingo misses this nomination, but I don't think this is the scenario we live in. Even at Sing Sing's worst days, Coleman Domingo's been present. I think he's the critics leader right now, unless Agent Brody has since caught up. No, Coleman Domingo's at 20, Brody's at 16. Yeah, he'll get in here. Sebastian Stan is absolutely getting in for The Apprentice. And then Daniel Craig got SAG. I think the only way that I don't predict Daniel Craig at the Oscars is if he misses here, which I thought was possible until he got that SAG nom. It's very clear that everyone's just behind this, that people are like, even I don't like Queer, but Daniel Craig absolutely is astounding in that movie. He needs to get nominated. It's time for his first nomination. Hugh Grant's looking less likely by the day, although he could happen. He's Hugh Grant. The BAFTAs he's Hugh fucking Grant. Like, come on. That could absolutely happen. I just don't know over who. I think, Sebastian and Daniel just make a lot of sense. That's like the top 6 for the Oscars. Unless, like, again, nightmare, Coleman Domingo misses. Kingsley Ben-Adir, I'm keeping an eye on. He's very British as well. Not like British royalty like Hugh Grant and Daniel Craig, but like, he is British, playing Bob Marley. That's not nothing. Jude Law and Dev Patel are absolutely not getting in. Not in a non-jury. Absolutely not. I'm guaranteed to get at least 2 of these right, and in a more literal sense, 5 of these. But, in actual odds thing, I'm like, 6 slots, 10 options. I'm getting 2 of them right at worst day. Lead actress, Demi Moore, Mikey Madison, Carlos Javier Gascon, lock. I think Demi Moore is going to win. Mikey and Carla are definitely in. I don't really see any reason to doubt it. Cynthia Erivo, I thought, could have missed this, but then Angelina Jolie and Fernanda Torres weren't in the long list, so, like, those odds. So it's like, well, who's going to bump her out then? Because, quite frankly, there's not a lot of options after that. I think Marianne Jean-Baptiste is, like, definitely going to get in here. If she misses this, she's fucked. We're talking about a trifecta winner. We're talking about, like, one of the loudest performances of the year. I think she's a lock for BAFTA. I think she's absolutely getting the Oscar nomination. But if she misses this, I might start getting scared. And then we got Kate Winslet for Lee and Nicole Kidman for Baby Girl. 2 performances that are, like, solo in this case, although I think they like Lee a little more. They could go with either or. But here's what I'll say. I think Baby Girl, weirdly enough, now that it's out, is like, I don't know, riding a bit of an anti-wave. Audience reception is really poor, and critic reception is going down a little bit, which is odd because that movie's amazing. I do think Lee is a lot more well-liked overseas, even though that movie's not very good. I am going to go with Kate Winslet. She is very good, though. Marissa Abella, there's like a slight chance that they could do that, because like she's playing Amy Winehouse, but like, God, she's not bad. I hate the movie, but she's not bad. Saoirse Ronan is just so beyond dead that I'm not even gonna pay her any attention. Amy Adams, that'd be funny. Adapted screenplay, Conclave and Emilia Paris are the locks. It's weird that those are the only 2 locks. Although I think Sing Sing is looking pretty good for this nomination. Nickel Boys, man, that movie needs a win. PGA got delayed, so I don't really know if that's gonna get PGA nominated. That movie just has not picked up any industry support at all, except for maybe AFI. And then like here it like completely shit the bed. It had a disastrous showing. This is his only shot at a BAFTA nomination. It's this category. And riddle me this, why would I predict it? Like, what reason do I have to predict it when A Complete Unknown and Dune are much stronger? Nickel Boys is most likely at the Oscars, but like, man, I haven't seen Nickel Boys succeed. I don't have evidence to predict Nickel Boys anymore. I think Complete Unknown is pretty set to get this, and then Dune, I don't know, why wouldn't it? Wicked, I don't think it's gonna happen. They didn't go with West Side Story. Why would they go with this? I do think that's like the musical thing. People are going, oh, Emilia Paris won't happen, it's a musical. But I'm like, that's like an original musical. That's like a loud, ambitious movie with a bunch of ideas. Wicked is an adaptation of a play. I think that is what fucked over West Side Story more so than the musical. I think Wicked will fall suit. I don't really have any reason to predict Lee, Outrun, or Night Bitch. I'm set with my 5. Conclave, Perez, Sing Sing, Clinton, Dune. That I believe that's my 5 for the Oscars too, which is a little alarming, but I think Nickel Boys has a much better shot at the Oscar than here. Original screenplay. Okay, let's get the 4 out of the way. Honora, Brutalist, Substance, Lock, Real Pain. I practically locked. I don't really see much reason to not say Challengers, except for maybe Apprentice or even Kneecap. Those I could really see happening. You know, they were Best Film nominee, but like, here's the thing. All of the real alts for the Oscar nom weren't here except for Challengers. Hard Truth wasn't even here, which is odd. No See You Sacred Fig, no September 5. Challengers is the only one vying for the Oscar that is here. So I gotta go with Challengers. I gotta play it smart. Although I could see them going Kneecap or Apprentice. I see some trying to predict that All We Imagine Is Light is gonna like catapult into like the Oscar conversation. I'll like drive my car. And I gotta say, do not see a single piece of evidence to suggest that. I really don't think All We Imagine Is Light is gonna just catapult. You know, it's like, alright, well, with All We Imagine Is Light, you know, Drive My Car was winning international. Emilia Paris is. Also, on top of that, All We Imagine Is Light is more of like a feat of directing than writing. I don't really see like them going with this movie and screenplay. Animated film, Wild Robot's gonna get in. Flow is probably gonna win, honestly. But I'll predict Wild Robot for now, and then they're absolutely going Wallace and Gromit. That fucking British-ass movie. Come on now. I don't think this is hard. I think Inside Out 2 is going to be after that. I think Memoir of a Snail is going to miss just by nature of there being only 4 slots. That's how it is. And, you know, they're never going to... BAFTA's never going to not do Wallace and Gromit. Pretty obvious. You know, that Christmas, Moana, well, I mean, that's not going to happen. I think we can move on. Documentary. BAFTA typically does what, like, quote-unquote, they're supposed to do. But, like, honestly, I think they could... you know, go a little off with one of the British people. I think No Other Land and Daughters and Will and Harper are practically guaranteed to get in here. I think those are like the top 3 for the Oscars, even if like probably one of them is going to miss. And then I think Black Box Diaries is looking pretty good. And I don't know, I see an Elton John documentary about Powell and Pressburger. I'm like, well, they got to go with one of them. One of the British boys, and I think Elton John makes a little more sense. Although this is a film ceremony, maybe Powell and Pressburger make a little bit more sense, but I'll stick with Elton. Remarkable Life of Bellin, I need to watch that movie. I've heard great things about it, but like, I don't know, is that really a BAFTA thing? BB Files could happen, I heard great things. They're not going to go to Chris Reeves documentary, as much as I love it. Non-English movie, Emilia Perez and Kneecap and All We Imagine Light are guaranteed. I think this 5 is pretty obvious to me, because Kneecap is going to happen. And then All We Imagine Is Light has not slowed down in this category. I think I'm Still Here is probably going to happen. And honestly, I think if anything is in trouble, I think it's See the Sacred Fig. I'm getting a little low-key decision to leave, PTSD here, maybe. But, like, I don't know, maybe the shot See the Sacred Fig misses the Oscar nom at the end of the day. I don't have reason to not predict it here, though. Because I don't know, the alts aren't that compelling. Girl with the Needle is the only compelling one to me. I don't think La Chimera is going to happen. Flow, nah, maybe. Count of Monte Cristo I have seen, and I don't think so. Best British Film, there are 10 slots here. Conclave's going to win. This is not a contest. Conclave is going to win. Kneecap's going to get in, as is Civil War, Gladiator, Hard Truths. I think they're pretty guaranteed to go with Lee. That's how much I liked it. I think Wallace and Gromit, like, just mega lock. Blitz, I think they'll do. Paddington is actively out in the UK, and apparently it's not great, so I'm a little worried, but they went with the other 2, I believe, so I'll just say Paddington. And then I'll go Outrun. Even though Love Lies Bleeding is better, We Live in Time is better, you know, Outrun got a directing long list. They could go Back to Black because they're annoying. They could do that. They also go Bird. They could go with any of these, oddly enough. I'm actually, like, a little interested in what they're going to do here. Director. I don't love the way this looks, that I'm going with all the men and one of the women. Everyone's going to say Payal Kapadia is going to get in. Here's the thing. Are we sure about that? Are we sure a non-jury is going to say Payal Kapadia? Like, this is, remember, they're voting. There's no more jury. It's voting. They're not going to, I don't think that they're as, eager to go with Payal Kapadia. If without a jury, I'd be like, fuck yeah, maybe even Burger's in trouble. But without it, I don't really see what's going to happen here. I think Brady Corbet, Jacques Audier, Sean Baker, guaranteed. I cannot imagine they don't go with Corlai Farjat. That's gotta happen. Like, I'm not even sweating it. Edward Berger. I mean, bro just won for All Quiet on the Western Front. I think that was because they love the movie, not because they love Edward Berger. I want to make it clear. But I don't really have reason to believe he won't get in. And then I think Denis Villeneuve's going to happen. I don't know. I feel pretty, secure in that. Because who else is going to go with besides Payal Kapadia? What, who? Fucking the Outrun director? Come on. They're not gonna go with Ellen Kuras. They're not gonna. There's like a no, they're not gonna go Alice Walker for La Chimera. I think the only other option here, realistically, is Pio Capadia. Also, if I swap out Denis for Pio Capadia, I'm just going 6-6 for the Globes, and that does not make me. That's just odd if that actually happened. So I'm going Denis Villeneuve. And then for best film, this is a little easy to me. I think Wicked will not get this. Apprentice and Kneecap are obviously not happening. I think The Brutalist is absolutely locked. Emilia Paris is absolutely locked. I think those two are duking out for the win. Anora and Conclave are going to happen. I think Dune's next up. Honestly, I think my brain is trying to be logical. I think Dune is the next one. They could go the Substance. They could go a complete unknown. Actually, the one I'm most worried about, more so than Substance, is a complete unknown. I do think, again, that movie is kind of going off at the right time. But then again, Dune's Dune. The first one got in. So I am going to stick with Dune. But, like, I will not be surprised. Because it goes alphabetical order. I would not be surprised if it goes Anora, The Brutalist, a complete unknown. So, yeah, I'm going with that. But be on the lookout for that. And then the Substance, if they want to be really cool, they can do it. Well, that's that. That is that. That's all the things. Like, subscribe, and share. Please check out the link below for the donation for the LA wildfires. And bye-bye.